Hello everyone and welcome back to One Piece. This is episode 717 onwards. The face I'm making right now is the face of me realizing how much my mouth hurts now that I've begun talking for this video. Oh boy. I have a cut. Oh, it's like right at the back of my mouth, like back right next to my teeth. And yeah, it was hurting yesterday, and then I woke up this morning and I went, oh, it's not too bad now. And I recorded another video today and didn't really feel it then, but now, oh boy, as soon as I did this intro, I started this intro, I went, oh man, that's some pain. Hopefully it'll numb itself out. I will also try to numb it a bit in a second. But this is One Piece. I'm going to push through the pain, so please forgive me if I talk weirdly or stumble more than normal, which is crazy because I already stutter a lot. I already say a lot. I already mess up my words and my phrases quite a bit. So doing that on top more often, it's gonna be a disaster, I think. I also hiccup a lot, clearly. Anyway, let's just jump in. Last time in One Piece, I feel like the latest episodes have been really good, actually. We had the Senor Pink backstory, which, holy shit, that was an emotional couple episodes. Wow, like I was not okay. I was really, really emotional in those episodes. That was crazy. And, well, yeah, I've got my notes here, so what else did we have? We had the Mancherry stuff as well, and that was alright. It was pretty solid. I did get some clarification on my Patreon that the Mancherry, I was talking about it because I thought they said in the thing that whenever she uses her ability, it shortens her life. What they were actually saying is that her normal ability can just be used, but if she uses her ability in a sort of ultimate fashion that they speculate that she has, which can like heal things, objects, then that will shorten her life. So if she were to use her ability to heal the factory, you know, the smile factory, that was like Doflamingo's backup plan, but it shortens her own life. So I went and rewatched the scene, and that is indeed what they're saying, but it is a little confusingly worded. I watched it in both sub and dub, that same scene, just to go like, okay, I want as much clarification as possible, because a lot of the times the dub will, and this is what people get mad at dubs sometimes for, but it's honestly great. Dubs will reword a lot of lines, and they reword it to make more sense in English. Like sometimes, like I absolutely love anime and I love watching subbed anime. A lot of the time, subs are so very literal with their, they're not always very literal with their translations, but like a lot of the time, the cool lines they try to keep intact with like how literal they are and stuff, or they'll tend to translate the same things as the same things over and over again, right? And in doing so, it makes sometimes certain scenes, especially in more complex shows, kind of confusing. Like there's a lot of stuff to keep track of, and it doesn't really make a lot of sense because it's also having to go through translation. But dubs will very often reword a sentiment completely to make it flow very nicely and sound natural for that character saying it. So I sometimes, when I'm confused about how a scene, like how something happened, I'll actually just go rewatch the scene in dub, and I'll go, oh, okay, I get it now. But yeah, anyway, so what was I saying? I was in the middle of saying something. Oh yeah, so the Mancherry thing. Yeah, so if she can apparently use her thing on objects. It sounded like in the scene they assumed she could do that, but I don't know if it had it's something she's done before. But I imagine it's coming from a place of that's the heal fruit's been researched in the past or whatever, and probably at the very least a past user of heal fruit has done it. It's kind of crazy knowing the information now that when you die your devil fruit goes back into the world, because now knowing that there's so much when I always have the answer to the question whenever I'm like, hey, on how does this person know that you can do this if you've never done it before? Sometimes it's just I imagine it's just their instincts kicking in, and they just go oh, I didn't know I could do that, but I just did it in the moment. But sometimes the answer can be because people have researched this fruit and have figured out this is something you can do with it. So it's like, it's kind of cool. I really like it. Anyway, this is a lot of yapping for the intro. Let's just jump into it. Make sure to support the video if you can, liking, commenting, and subscribing. Go to my Patreon account for full-length early access and exclusive videos. I'm numbing my own mouth as we speak. I feel like the more I'm speaking, I get through the pain, but then I push through it. So go to my Patreon account if you want the full-length and early access. You can get the next 20 or so episodes on my Patreon account right now. In fact, I'm planning for it to be more. I'm planning to get a little further ahead on Patreon for multiple reasons. So keep your eye out on that. You can also join my YouTube membership down below to get 1 week early on edited videos. But yeah, let's jump into this. This is One Piece episode 717. Here we go. One Piece. Woo! Okay, recap Rubik's. If you are new to this channel, this is a Rubik's Cube that I do while the recap is going on, and my goal is to beat the recap. And that's the cube complete. Okay, this episode is gonna be called Kiros's Hidden Talent. The secret Kiros Devil Fruit. He's got a hidden one. Oh, yeah, he's just like letting himself be hit by it just to attack you. I mean, when attacking you, he's kind of partially under your umbrella. Oh my god. Jeez, he's just putting up with it. Oh. It's way better than being a toy. Ah, I love that. Oh. Oh man, the whip sword is really cool. Oh, Kiros is so cool. Hell yeah, it's all funneled through him. Oh man, I hope he beats Diamante in this episode. Oh, that's good. Fuck up his umbrella. Well, now surely Diamante is gonna be getting hit by some of these. Oh! Oh! Oh man. I just keep praying they're not gonna cut away. They kind of cut away, but they cut away to someone who's watching it. I want to see Diamante getting hit by some of these falling things now. These iron balls. He's looking scared though. Oh, there we go. Damn. We didn't get to see Diamante get hit by any of them. Oh my god. And Kiros needs to do this. You can't let Rebecca do it. God damn. Oh god, so fucked up. Oh. Oh, that's really sad. Oh, he's back up! Just... It must be hard to get up with one leg. Oh. Oh, sick. I'll take back peace is a cool line too. Oh, cool. I love the cuts to him as soldier. Whoa! Oh, shit! Is that the final blow? Oh. Wow. Oh. Holy shit. I think you fucking did it. I love Nika Robin's satisfied smile. Go on, go hug him. Oh. Being called Robberland is so funny. Go. She fall to her knees out of pain. Yeah, because she was taking a lot of the hits. Oh, hell yeah, Robin. Silently suffering, but making sure other people didn't know. Oh. No, everything's fine. I like how this is where they put the victory music in. Once everyone finds out. We had like a silent, nice moment with Kiros. And now this is the victory moment. No, I was lying. Violet would have been one of the only people who saw Nico Robin and how much pain she was put through as well. Because she was watching it from an outside perspective. Who's left? Treble? And Doflamingo? And Pica? Is that it? Okay, thank you for reminding me. I actually need this. Oh, but you're counting Bellamy? I wouldn't count Bellamy. Yeah. Cool. I feel like the Bellamy fight could wrap up a bit faster, but the rest of it I'm very excited for. Okay. Yeah, I'm sure that's gonna drop down a little bit when we're fighting Doflamingo. We're gonna lose some hope. Okay, what are you gonna do, man? Yeah, Zoro. Oh, I don't imagine Zoro's gonna take down Pica right now because we're towards the end of an episode. But maybe that's next episode? Yeah, that might be what they're teasing. What? No! Don't let him escape, Zoro. Oh, it's probably not going to be much of a choice. Shit, really? Oh, God. Oh, my God. Shit, man. Oh my god. Kiros has done enough. Let Zoro have his fight. Alright. Okay, so how's this gonna go? I feel like Zoro has to be the one to beat Pica. Because otherwise, like, Zoro kind of did nothing, right? Like, Zoro was fighting Pica originally and wasn't able to beat him. And then was fighting Pica again later and wasn't able to beat him. So I feel like the only I feel like he's gotta be the one to beat Pica in the end. Cause otherwise, yeah, like we have this whole arc and Zoro. I mean, I'm just trying to think like what, cause most of the arc Zoro was running around with Wicca, is that her name? And then, yeah, I mean, he really wasn't doing much this arc, which I think it's okay to have characters, especially Zoro. He's had a lot of spotlights. So it makes sense if they were to have him take a backseat, but they don't often, I don't feel like Oda would write Zoro into fights like that just to have him not end up being useful in them at all. Like, I feel like if Zoro is a part of a fight, he's either going to lose or he's going to win. I don't think it's very often that he's going to get into a fight and then the fighter runs away, and then he gets into a fight and the fighter runs away, and then we never really see the result of that. You know what I mean? I feel like there's gonna be a definitive like mark that he had on the battle. So yeah, I'm not saying Zoro is invincible and that he should beat anyone, but I just feel like it would almost feel like like his scenes didn't need to be in this arc at all. That you might as well have put him on the ship with Sanji and Nami and Chopper and Brook, and just, you know, and been like, yeah, fuck it, he's over there with them. So like, I mean, the good thing is he was like single-handedly holding off Pica. I guess that was the main thing, right? Is that Pica was very focused on fighting Zoro. But I feel like Oda's gonna want Zoro to do the finishing thing. And I don't think you'd have Pica and Kiros be the final battle. Like, I mean, the final Pica battle. Because we've had our Kiros moment now, and it was a cool moment. I really liked this fight. So yeah, I feel like Zoro's got to get up there. It may just be that Kiros and others have to kind of like protect Rebecca and hold off until Zoro gets there. Yeah, I like so much of the Kiros stuff this episode. I mean, him like just enduring the iron balls as they hit him, and him saying like, you know, when he's getting like hurt a lot, he's saying like, the pain means I'm human, which is like, he's actually kind of relieved as these iron balls hit his skin and it hurts so much. He's like, well, this is way better than feeling nothing and having to be that toy, and like the only thing I was feeling is like the emotional devastation of having lost everything and everyone I cared about, and them having lost me, which is like well, that's the crazy thing about this storyline, the toy storyline, is it really is kind of like you don't really lose them because Kiros was around Rebecca still and was still able to raise her and stuff, but they lost you. Even though she doesn't know it, there's like a you-sized hole in their heart, and you have to watch them live with that hole in their heart, and they don't know why. Like, we could clearly see like Rebecca was affected by the loss of her father, and yet she didn't know that was affecting her. And so having to watch, you know, your own family suffer without you, and just, you know, and still be a spectator in it, and maybe even still be a participant in it, but not being able to fix it is devastating. So him saying like, that is a way worse fate than me getting struck by some falling metallic spiked balls, makes a lot of sense, and I really like that part of the scene. I also loved that we have Robin just standing there. All she's doing is making sure that Rebecca is next to her, and holding up the tree to protect them. But then as soon as Rebecca and when Kiros wins, Robin is smiling, and she even like silently like nods at Rebecca and like pats her on the back and like encourages her to go over to him and stuff. And then as soon as all that's done, she like falls to her knees, and you can see she's dripping with blood and stuff. I really like that. Like, Robin was just suffering in silence. If she was like showing how much it hurt her, because I think it was because of the falling balls hitting her tree, right? I think that was the reason she was so injured. Because like we know that if she takes damage on her limbs, like on those hands and stuff, the damage does transfer to her. We know that because the kids were biting her hands or whatever, right? So back in Punk Hazard, I mean. So like that damage from the tree seemed like it was probably transfer. I mean, like, you know, a lot of it was blocked by the flowers, but they were like ripping through the flowers, so they were probably hitting the tree below, and yeah, it was probably fucking her up pretty bad. But yeah, the fact that she doesn't say anything about it, or doesn't even make any pained noises, because it's like, Rebecca's worrying about enough. You know, if Rebecca at the very least thinks that, well, at least Robin is okay, you know, like if she's watching Kiros and is scared for his life, if she then turns around and sees Robin going like, and it's like because Robin is protecting you, she's getting hurt. All she's seeing is there's someone over there suffering for me and there's someone right next to me suffering for me. So I need to stop making them suffer for me. And she might then like disregard what Kiro said and pick up the sword and rush over there to try to fight, to try to end this. Or at the very least, go out in a blaze of glory and die so that they don't have to suffer that pain for her anymore, which is really dark and sad, but I think that is the idea. So Robin just not letting it get to her, not letting the pain show on her face in the slightest, is an MVP move. That's amazing. I really, really liked that. But yeah, and I liked that small little flashback we saw of like Violet was just distraught and like absolutely horrified and really, really upset about Scarlet's death. And then like she had the sword in hand and like then like it's really dark, but then Tank like stops her and, you know, like wants to protect her. And we see that, you know, it's just really nice. Like I don't know much about Tank. We've only seen little bits and pieces of him, but it's like I really liked that scene that showed him, you know, keeping her safe. And then we jump back to present day and he's like looking at her relieved and kind of proud. So it's adorable. Really, really good stuff. Anyway, let's move on to the next episode. This is episode 718 of One Piece. Here we go. Hey, let's go. Okay, recap. Rubik's. Here we go. And that's the cube complete. Okay, this episode is going to be called I don't know. Zoro swings in to save the day. Back to the Bellamy stuff, huh? Oh. He's our king. I don't think this isn't a great way to try to flip it around on them. It's so clear that none of that was because of King Riku. Such a good guy. You didn't earn the people's love. Huh? Okay. Is he going back to Zoro? Okay, I forgot I have to be fighting right now. Oh no. Oh. Yeah, come on Zoro. Go get him. Oh my god. That's fucked. Don't do anything to Baby 5. Don't! He's saving her. Sai's saving her. Fuck yeah, man. What a legend. Yes, Sai! Damn, man. Come on, Zoro. You need to get him. Nice. Oh. Oh, that's cool. Slice down the middle. What kind of question is this? You're not very good at arguing. I don't think Pica is very smart. He really is. He's just like a toddler. Oh. Are you controlling the big stone one again? Or are you just breaking it apart? No, it seems like he's controlling it again. Oh my god. Okay, we're not listening to you. Come on, Zoro. Jesus. Fucking huge. Like, really huge. I feel like that's bigger than the Colossal Titan. Like, just by a little bit. But it feels like it is. Oh. Actually, no, at that size it kind of looks like... I don't know, it's probably an inconsistent size. But it looks like it's maybe about the same size as a Colossal Titan. Jesus, man. Yeah, see, at that angle, it looks way bigger. Like, look how small the... Before, the people were the same size as those buildings, I feel like. Jesus. God damn. Thousands of buildings crushed there. Now you're as far away as possible. That is really annoying. Maybe this is what we need the King Punch for. Okay, guys. Sorry to say, but this is futile. I mean, what are we supposed to do? Like, jeez. What could you possibly do here? Plan 1. Okay. Is this in his mind right now? Or is he actually trying this? Yeah, I think it's in his mind. Jump up and get on top. But can you catch up to him? Yeah. Shout out. Surely your voice can't reach them. And I mean, I think they can see it coming. The problem isn't them not knowing about it, right? Uh-huh. You don't have one. Yeah, it's you. Like, Usopp knows it's coming. It keeps showing the same shot of like the buildings coming up. Aww. King Punch? That's what I've been thinking. Can we actually... Can you do that? Can you make it to him and punch him? Or can you do it from here? Oh. Is there a plan you can do with these guys? I love that Baby 5 is a part of this crew. Shouldn't Zoro be like, one of Doflamingo's family is right here. There she is. He's got a plan. Oh, I love this music. I love it so much. Bandana, hell yeah. 2 minutes? Stop showing that shot. It's been like the 6th or 7th time this episode they've shown that. Plan 5? Okay. Last I remembered you couldn't fly. That was the Sanji thing. Is he gonna learn to airwalk? I doubt it. Someone gonna launch him? Well, very slow-paced episode. Most of that episode was Pica just like walking towards the thing and just showing the same shots over and over again of him stepping. So yeah, massive pacing issues in this episode. But I did like the Zoro coming up with plans sequences. Like that was it's kind of cool. I mean, even though those were even kind of slow, I liked going into his thought process of like he's actually trying to come up with ideas, and it's almost like a good way for Oda to go like, here's some things that you might go like, well, why didn't Zoro just do this? Here's the reasons he can't do that, you know? So I did like that sequence. And I also, I don't know, I always like sequences in anime of characters counting something off. Like, it can be very hype for me very quickly, you know? Like, when I think of, like, Oh, I'm trying to think of some like really cool moments of counting off. Funnily enough, one of the first things that pops into my head is in the Sanji and Wanze fight in One Piece. In the like Wanze, one of my least favorite characters, and that fight, you know, it's not a great fight overall, but I did like the bit where he's saying, like, was it his sins or something? But he was like, there are 3 cardinal sins you committed or whatever, something along those lines, and he like lists them off. Like when characters are making a numbered list, I always find it really great, you know. So simple stuff like that, when he goes like plan 1, I'm like, I lock in. I'm like, okay, I gotta find out all this stuff, you know. It's always very fun. So I really liked that part of the episode. I also like Sai saving Baby 5 as well, you know. Like he will say to her like, hey, stop clinging to me, it's weird, and and all of that, but he respects her and he does want to save her. So it's very cool that he pushed her out of the way, and then we get to see him like pulling things apart. That's really cool. I think it's great that they made Sai a really cool character. Like that's unexpected. When they originally introduced him, it was like there was Don Chinjao and then Sai and Boo. Was that the other one's name? See, the other one's so unimportant like compared to him that that I can barely even remember his name. But I believe it was Sai and Boo. And they, like when they were introduced basically as like the grunts, you know, working under Don Chinjao. And so I kind of didn't expect them to be like very special at all, you know. Like they obviously, there's that I did, and I'm looking at my notes right now, that's why. Yeah, Sai and Boo, there we go, found it. Sai and Boo from Kano. Yeah, like there's that TikTok that I posted, and it was a clip from my video, so also in the video, of the moment we met Sai, and he does the whole like, oh, don't worry about saying thanks. Don't you dare say thanks. And he like ramps himself up until he's screaming at Luffy and like having to be held back. It was one of my favorite One Piece jokes that they've ever done. So it was a good first impression to him, but I really did think like he's one of the 2 grunts for the actual cool guy, which is Don Chinjao. As time's going on, like Don Chinjao is kind of cool, but you know, he's also like a kind of stubborn old man and a bit of an idiot. And like there's things that I don't like about Don Chinjao overall. Boo is just kind of forgettable. Like there's nothing super special about Boo to me. But Sai, they've like developed as like kind of an awesome character, and they gave him his own character arc, they gave him his fight scene, they've given him a woman, and they've shown that he's like really strong. And just very unexpected to me. It was a good way to flip that sort of character dynamic on the head. Like when you introduce these characters who are basically glorified guards, and then one of them is actually quite special. It's really cool. But yeah, I don't think there's much else to say, and that makes sense because there wasn't much that happened in this episode. So let's move on to episode 719 of One Piece. Here we go. Hey, let's go. Hey, let's go. Okay. Recap Rubik's. Here we go. Alright, that's the cube complete. Alright, this episode is gonna be called, finally, the fucking battle that they've been teasing. Zoro vs Pica. And yes, it will say fucking in the title. Alright, what's this flying plan, huh? Maybe Baby 5 can turn her body into a big cannon and fire Zoro at Pica. Okay, same concept as what I said. That's right, he was like bowling people, right? Oh god. At least they delayed him a little bit. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah, he doesn't want to watch his people get killed for him. Yeah. But he's the tank. He should be taking all the damage. You can't send your DPS up there on the front lines. Yeah, if he runs with you, the damage just follows them. That aura, that kingly aura. Oh my god. So fucking huge. Here we go. Toss him. Yeah, normally I don't throw my allies. Oh my god, you're gonna be too late if you throw Zoro now. Oh, the people. They want to defend their king. Oh. They probably, most of them feel so guilty probably for thinking the wrong thing about him for so long. Pica, you don't need to be bragging this much. It's like, I feel like Pica is always trying to be like a mastermind, trying to destroy people's spirits, but it just doesn't work coming from him at all. Here we go, throw him! Oh, holy shit! That's some fucking speed! Oh yeah? 3 sword style? With Haki? Oh! So cool. All 3 swords get Haki? At least 2 of them. Yeah, all 3. Hell yeah! Oh my god. Jeez, Zoro. Whenever he gets like spiritual out of nowhere, it's always crazy. That's a cool shot. Alright, come on. The billion-fold world. Oh my god. Oh! I wonder which part of the body Pica's in. Top half? I'd imagine top half. We're finally remembering that Zoro is fucking strong. Oh, I like how it had the sound effect of him grabbing the sword there. That was cool. Okay. If you keep like cutting off different parts of the area, making him go into smaller and smaller pieces. That was a cool shot. Now which side's he in? You trying to figure it out? Okay, yeah. Keep figuring it out. Good, good, good. This is what I wanted to see, Zoro. This is good shit. Is he in the arm? Dead stone. The arm is what's moving. He's in the arm. I like this. This is what I wanted to see. Deducing which part he's in. That's fun. Okay, there's his real body. Oh damn, he's doing the fucking Virgo thing. Full body Haki. Weird. Oh. Wow, going back to Hawkeye. Hawkeye vs Zoro. Oh! Man, the show was so low stakes then. Kind of reminds me, like, they're just fighting on a random ship, you know? It's cool to bring that back here, I think. Oh! 3,000 worlds! Oh! Cool. Cool animation there. And you still have your punch left. Assuming that we actually fully took down Pica there. Oh my god. Maybe now use your punch. Alright. Your turn, King. Yep. Time for the King punch. Okay, so he gets to clear the debris afterward. Cool. I really love the King punch. That's fun. Awesome. Now it'll scatter onto the useless civilians down below. It was an important job, even if it wasn't as cool. Plan 5 accomplished. Oh, nice. Well, the first half of this episode was the same thing as last episode. It was just like incredibly slow-paced Pica going, "I'm gonna kill you," but second half of this episode was awesome. I loved that. It's cool finally getting to see more Zoro being a badass, doing badass things. Getting to see how strong his haki is right now. And you know, even though it was another way to pad time, I did like them showing the Hawkeye duel again. And just like sort of resetting because like at this point, you know, we're 719 episodes into the show. Like that was so long ago. That was like 700 episodes ago is when that scene happened. So it kind of makes sense to remind us what Zoro's stakes are, especially, I mean, the people who are watching this live and who are watching One Piece live, you know, they might not, like, obviously, a lot of One Piece fans are going to know that scene very, very well, because it's such an iconic scene, but we have to remember, like, me as someone who has a channel based on it, and you guys as people who actively seek out One Piece content on YouTube, we tend to be in the more aggressive of the fans of the series, you know, so we're more likely to like know what the iconic scenes are, to go back and rewatch them a lot, you know, to see all this other stuff, to think about them a lot. But there's a lot of people who they will watch a show, even a show like One Piece, they'll just watch it casually, and then they'll be like, if you say like, oh, the Zoro Mihawk duel, they'll be like, oh yeah, I remember that. I think, yeah, that's the one. Like, oh yeah, that one. You know, like that's what a lot of people will do. It won't be like instantly like, oh shit, yeah, of course. You know, I'm sure that would be like 70% of the fan base reaction to it, but there would be a percentage of people who would just be like, oh yeah, okay, that one. And then so sometimes they might need a reminder like that of like, hey, remember why Zoro is doing all of this, and remember this like promise that he made back then. And that I like how he's like, I can't let myself stumble over someone like Pica. I can't let this be what stops me. So yeah, that was very cool. I like the way that they ended up using the King Punch, because I was wondering what they were gonna save it for. It's actually kind of clever to end up using it for something that, like, Oda actually could have just ignored the falling stones. Like, just had them, like, fall, you know, to the side or fall around them or whatever. You know, like he could have done anything. A lot of the time, the falling debris or whatever of these sorts of shows, like they don't want to take away the cool moment of Zoro by having to figure out, oh, but what about the rubble that might have killed people below or whatever, you know? So a lot of the time, I feel like shows can be very hand-wavy of like, yeah, and it just didn't hit anyone, so it's fine, whatever. But I like that Oda's like, no, this is an issue that we need to solve, and so I'm saving the King Punch this entire time, and I'm going to use it for that, which isn't a flashy way to use it, but it is a very necessary way to use it. And because he was able to do that, that allowed Zoro to sort of go all out and do such a destructive technique, because he knew that the king would be able to destroy all the stones there. So I really like that. I really like the King Punch so much. I think it's such a fun mechanic. It's fun, the idea of like he has to warm up for so long and he only gets one punch. So he's like a worse One Punch Man, but it's really entertaining to see like that sort of limitation on it. I mean, I guess it's probably closest to Megumin from Konosuba, where yeah, she has one incredibly powerful spell and it's amazing, but you have to figure out when exactly you're going to use it, because that's the one shot you have, you know? Like, if we talk about One Punch Man, Saitama defeats everyone in one punch, but it's not like he only can use one punch. He actually wants to use more than that. That's the whole plot of the show, is he wants to be able to take people out with actual battles, but he's just so strong that one punch is all he ever needs. So yeah, in that respect, it's kind of closer to Megumin, where like you actually only can do one, but it's incredibly powerful. And I like that sort of mechanic. Anyway, let's move on to the next and final episode we're doing in this video. This is episode 720. Here we go. Hey, let's go. Okay, recap Rubik's. Here we go. And that's the cube complete. Alright, this episode is going, I don't know what we're gonna go to anymore. The Bellamy stuff? The Bellamy takedown. Cool. And Perrin is happy about it. I love that Perrin is just watching. She's just like getting her own entertainment by watching him train. So fun. Such a fun dynamic. And now you understand the Black Blade. It's gonna be so satisfying. It's like upgrading your computer and being like, oh my god, it didn't freeze while I was editing. Just changes everything. Probably, but we're gonna say no one. Oh, I guess, yeah, you probably did some bullshit, huh? Yeah, that's what I was saying. There are like people down below. And then, yeah, okay, so Isho, Fujitora handled that. Cool. I'm glad we see Fujitora doing something cool like that. Interesting that he always holds his sword out to use his power. Is that necessary, or is it something that he does, like, it's easier for him to be in that mind state if he has his sword out? Oh, cool. He even saves the old lady. Gives her a magic carpet. They see one child in there right before it crashes down. No! Hell yes. So, just Bellamy, Doflamingo, and Treble left. Robin's so proud. Factory's fucked up. Hell yes. Amazing. We're really getting into the the main shit now. There's so many episodes left though, isn't there? 20 something episodes left. Oh, I guess it's not that many in One Piece terms. Don't know about that. We should kill Mancherry right now so that we make sure that they don't have it. Although maybe they'll just find the heal fruit again. Aww. Cute. Yeah, it's the other way around. Yeah, the statue looks like me. Tell me. No, tell me the limitation. Maybe it's just power. Maybe she just gets tired if she uses it a lot. Like Law. If they introduce the idea of like she can heal objects, but it costs her part of her life. I wonder if they introduce that because they're going to use it on something. But what? Maybe they'll destroy our ship at some point and we fix it. Oh, because Big Mom is chasing our ship, right? Maybe she destroys it. They're all thinking about Luffy, who's fucking around right now with Bellamy. Luffy land. Everyone has different names for Luffy. She's like, which one do I call him? Pirate. Don't show me the Nami intro if you're not gonna show me Nami. The amount of time I've had to be away from Nami. It's bullshit. Just after I got my Nami figure as well. Oh, hell yeah. I was like, what the fuck are we cutting away to now? But it's Koala, so I'm happy. It's to do with Luffy? I'm coming. Yay. He deserves it. Deserves a round of applause. He should get that after everything he does, honestly. Yeah, let's wait to celebrate. Yeah, because he's fucking around with Bellamy. Yeah, I mean, he knows. Saying, but he's still manipulating you, and you know, emotionally. Yeah, you're still being pulled by his strings. I mean, yeah. You recognize he needs to do this as a man, so fight him. Yeah, the giant shadow in the sky. I mean, there's no doubt that Bellamy respects you. Punch him, Luffy. Just do it. Just punch him. If he dies by his own choice. Oh! Okay! Well, that's nice. Yeah, there you go! That's all you needed to do! Knock him down! Luffy's pissed that he had to do that, though. So quiet. Oh man. Oh, he's fucking pissed now. Oh. The laugh. Oh, Doflamingo's laugh gives me chills sometimes. Oh god, Lord. Oh. Oh god, oh. Is he actually dead? I don't know, probably not. I've gone over the law might be dead thing before. Like, I can't do it again. I can't do it again. I'm just gonna assume he's not. Because last time I erred on the side of he actually died and then he didn't. You know, you can go back to my reaction to, I don't know what episode it was, but the one where Doflamingo just shoots Law several times in the chest. And I said, well, it felt to me like that was going to be, you know, leading up to an actual death scene and that it makes sense for Law to die there. You know, it all matches with Gent's lore and stuff. But it seems like, you know, this time it was even more severe. It even like looks more like he's dead. But I'm not. It's a cliffhanger. They're trying to get me to fall for it. I'm not falling for it again, Oda. You'll have to do a lot more to convince me that Law's dead now, because you've done it. You've done me in already. So yeah. I mean, cool episode. There was, you know, a little bit of slowness in the middle, but still, very cool. I liked seeing. Well, I like that Isho saved a bunch of people. That was very cool. And, you know, seeing him use his power a bit more. I liked seeing the factory be destroyed. I mean, I liked that the factory being destroyed was like a 1 minute scene. Like it was nothing, because that's, you know, that's such a, I don't care about that storyline thing. I mean, I care about the factory being destroyed. That's great, but we don't need to see it all happening, and it doesn't need to be like a problem because we already dealt with the problem. So so I'm glad that it was just a short scene of like, yeah, let's fuck it up, and then they'll fuck it up. So that was great. And the Mancheri and Leo meeting with Kiros and having that whole conversation was very nice. So I liked that. Like, there's a lot of things that I liked here. The very short koala scene that we got, always great. And then I liked the Bellamy scene in concept. Like, as I said, I do like the writing decision of why Bellamy's doing this. I do think that's good. I don't think we needed as many flashbacks as that, you know? I don't think it needed to be as much build up, but the resolution of it with like Luffy having to do it and then just being so pissed that he had to do that and blaming it all on Doflamingo and screaming his name, that's satisfying. I really like that part of it. Because now it's making me really hyped for the next episodes. This felt like a good place to end the video, like these 4 episodes. Because like this, you know, watching these 4 episodes really gets me hyped up for what's coming next. And I feel like the next episodes, I mean, we just have Treble and Doflamingo left, right? I think. I'm pretty sure. Now, of course, there are probably other problems going on, you know? Like, I feel like we're not just going to spend the next 20... What is it? 26 or something episodes. Yeah, it goes until 7:46, I think. So yeah, I don't think we're gonna spend the next 26 episodes just on Luffy and Doflamingo and Treble, like just in those scenes. I'm sure we're gonna cut away and be dealing with other shit that's going on, you know, like maybe about Mancheri going around and healing people, about like trying to stop like more of the people who are still probably slashing at their loved ones. And you know, there's probably other stuff that we're dealing with, but I think we're gonna get a decent amount of Luffy Doflamingo now, because we really went and dealt with all of those other threats one by one. So now I'm really hyped up for next video and for sitting down and watching One Piece then. I liked the flashback to the Mihawk training Zoro thing, and we see him talking about like, if you use Haki on a blade, it's going to make that blade stronger. and you won't have to deal with like the little chips and stuff that you get on your blade. Like, you know, do you often feel guilty for having your blade get chipped? Well, like, here's a way that you can protect your blade so that that doesn't happen. So yeah, I really enjoy that. Now they brought up the healing of objects again, right? So it makes me think, like, you bring in a character with the heal fruit, and then you specifically mention that she can heal objects and you give a cost for it. So, like, now, obviously, you know, I'm not saying this is definitely a Chekhov's gun. Like, they didn't necessarily introduce this concept because they have to use it later on. The reason it was introduced, the purpose has already been used, which is that they introduced that as an idea for this is why Mancherry was essential to Doflamingo's plan, and this is why he's not as panicked about the factory, because there's this character. And the reason you bring up the costs associated with it is because you want to show that, like, Doflamingo and Doflamingo's family don't care that they're actually taking years off of Mancherry's life to further their own means. Like, they don't care about that side of things. So, all this to say, like, the reason for Mancherry's existence and her power's existence and the cost being mentioned, all of that has already been settled in the script. So it doesn't necessarily need to be used in the future for it to not be like shoe leather, essentially. I don't even think shoe leather is technically the right term, but if you don't know, shoe leather in a script is essentially the things that they cut out of a script that because they're not needed. Like, people always say, like, oh, whenever people talk on the phone, they never say goodbye or they never say hello. They just pick up the phone and they start talking about the issue, and then as soon as they're done, they hang up and they don't say goodbye. And people are always like, that's so weird, why do they do that or whatever? But it's because the hellos and goodbyes are considered shoe leather in a script. They are things that we as an audience don't need to know. They're not essential to the story. And so if they're not essential to the story, you cut them out to make sure that whenever we're looking at the screen, whenever we're watching stuff and listening to the dialogue, that is useful for some way. Like, maybe it's two characters that are talking to one another. Maybe they're having a silly conversation about things that don't matter in the plot. But the point of that dialogue is they're having a silly conversation. So you're getting to know their dynamic. You're getting to know them getting, like, you know, getting closer to one another. And maybe even, like, it's to add levity, it's to add humor to the situation. So it does have a purpose. But hellos and goodbyes on the phone, that's shoe leather. You don't need it because it doesn't do anything except tell you they're saying goodbye on the phone to end the phone call. But we know they're doing that because they click end on the phone call. So I don't think shoe leather is the right term when I'm talking about what I'm talking about, because it doesn't quite apply, but it's the same basic concept. I think them mentioning all of the stuff about Mancherry, like, it could either be they're leading up to her using her power and us knowing what the stakes are, or it could be they were just setting up why Doflamingo is using her. But if they are setting it up for her to use the power, I wonder what she'll use it on. I don't think she's going to go around and just use it on every building in Dressrosa to fix it, because it's a pretty significant cost for something that builders could do given enough time, you know? So I think it would need to be like, it would need to be to repair something very important. Now, it's funny to think, like, if we try to compare it to my Dressrosa prediction video, when I did the, like, what I think Dressrosa might be, I did I introduced the character that was like a 13-year-old girl or something, who wanted to help out the Straw Hats a lot, and then she, at the end, like, volunteered to be turned into Zoro's scabbard so that she could help them out on their thing, right? And it was like, the idea was that it was like kind of a messed up storyline, but it was kind of sweet, but it's still like messed up that they turned a little girl into their scabbard just because, you know, just to help them out a little bit. And so, like, if we compare that to this, it's like Mancherry maybe could give up part of her life to help out the Straw Hats. Like, as I said, if Big Mom was to destroy the Sunny, it's like she could, you know, use her power to fix the Sunny. Now, how much of her life would that take off? And is that fair for us to ask her to do that? I feel like if you were writing it, you'd have to make her, like, offer to do it. You can't have Luffy turn around and say, like, hey, use your power on this, because it really matters to me, or whatever, because you're telling someone to take off parts of their own life. But if she was to say, like, wait, I can fix it, and then she just goes up and does it, then that's, you know, her being noble and her sacrificing it by her own volition. So, like, they could do that, but it's also kind of sad because she's, you know, removing some of her life for their ship. But, you know, and I'm not saying their ship in a derogatory thing, like, the ship doesn't matter. We know from the Going Merry storyline, the ship matters a lot and it's part of the crew. But still, I think it would be very sad and funny but sad if Mancherry ends up using her power to do something like that. But yeah, anyway, I think that's all I wanted to talk about. So that is episodes 717 to 720. Thank you for joining me. Make sure to support the video if you can, liking, commenting, and subscribing. Go to my Patreon account for full-length early access and exclusive videos. You can get the next 20 or so episodes on my Patreon account right now, which means that I feel like at this point we are so close. Like, if you're watching this on YouTube, I think at this point we're probably just about finished with Dressrosa. Maybe there's one more video of Dressrosa on Patreon. Maybe. It's hard for me to tell. I think so. Actually, no, I feel like when you're watching this on YouTube, we're done Dressrosa on my Patreon account, I think. So, so go check it out, see if we are. But yeah, if you want to just, like, rush through the end of Dressrosa, this is the time to sign up. And yeah, join my YouTube membership down below to get 1 week early on edited videos. But thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.